Alright. I am become death. I finally earned my access to the White Springs Command Center. Time to check in and see what's up there. Because, yeah. See what Modus is keeping from us. One sec. Bunch of little red tags right there.
Welcome, General, to the Command Center. This space served many purposes. Armory, archives, education center. But its most critical role was its connection to the local nuclear missiles. A short training regimen was added to help new generals familiarize themselves with the nukes, their capabilities, and their dangers. If you wish to acquaint yourself with their intricacies, you're welcome to approach the posters against the wall. If you'd rather jump right in, you may speak to any of our command terminals to move on to the next step in your personal nuclear arms race.
Okay, we can speak to the command terminal to bypass the tutorials or complete all the nuclear training tutorials. Nuclear keycards. Okay.
Greetings, General. Welcome to your nuclear launch training session. Over the course of the next 4 posters, you'll be taught everything you need to know about utilizing the Appalachian Automated Launch System. During your briefing, you should have been issued a nuclear key card. During an actual launch, you will need to insert the card into the designated slot before entering your launch code, at which point the key card will be consumed. Additional card drops will be brought in by automated convoy should the DEFCON rating continue to worsen. You may speak to your logistics officer as to the location of the pickup for your additional cards, should the circumstances arise.
And oh, have they arisen. This DEFCON rating the General speaks of has been pegged at its maximum for some time now, due to the hazardousness unleashed by our earlier guests. The silver lining of this is that one can often find a keycard convoy en route somewhere in Appalachia. We're happy to use our restored surveillance tools to help you track them. Access any of the surveillance system terminals to initiate your hunt.
To prevent misuse of Appalachia's automated missile silos, security measures for the region's nuclear arsenal have been increased well beyond any of our existing standards. Each silo has its own 8-digit launch code, which is valid for a single week. These codes are broken into 8 individual number-letter pairs, each carried by a designated officer who is under strict orders to guard their code piece with their life. The order of numbers has been encrypted using a series of methods to prevent improper deployment. The bunker staff of specially trained code decryptors will provide the officer corps with the code when it is renewed each week.
The decryptors, it should come as no surprise, are dead. It will be up to you and your fellow members to decrypt each silo's launch code before they are regenerated. We, however, might be able to help. We've gathered all the information we could recover related to the codes and their encryption in the archives on this floor. It's also our
missile silos of Appalachia are equipped with an advanced robotic construction system, allowing them to rapidly refill their arsenals in a matter of hours. The silos themselves are defended by a robotic task force and staffed with a contingent of special clearance human missileers. Security protocols require all silo entrants, regardless of rank, be escorted by a missileer at all times. Entering a silo without escort will be treated as a hostile act.
We're unable to peer inside the silos themselves, but we are confident in saying we doubt any such escort still lives. You will be on your own once you're through the door.
Due to the region's advanced missile installations, there is a high chance of a retaliatory nuclear strike touching down somewhere in Appalachia. The intense radiation released by such a blast can have devastating effects on the local flora and fauna, mutating them into hideous monstrosities fit only for a quick death.
To the contrary, General. Our memory banks suggest quite the opposite. Our previous residents managed to acquire samples of some materials created shortly after the first bombs fell, and what they found was illuminating, to say the least. Materials of exceptional versatility and volatility. However, if you can stabilize them fast enough, a jaunt into a blast zone, it seems, could be a productive one. Documentation related to these materials can be found in the archives. As well, the fissures that have cropped up around the region seem promising as possible sources of materials, along with some added pest control. The map in this room contains the locations of these fissures, if you're looking for a target.
Well, okay. Seems like we need to get a nuclear keycard, get some launch codes, and decrypt them. Get into the silo while not being killed by robots, and then blow something up. Here's a map. We have Bravo, add it to the map. Alpha, I believe I've already been there, and Charlie added to the map. But we also have radiation anomaly fissure here, fissure here, fissure here, fissure here, massive radiation anomaly fissure here, which is fissure site prime, fissure site here, fissure site here, fissure site here. And then there are minor fissure sites as well. But those are not marked. Okay. And here is the Armory trading posts. Also, if you come through here, you can find some notes on mutated flora. And check the archival terminal. Ellen Santiago, General. General, figuring out this code for Eckhart, the president, still weird to type. It's got a couple of steps to it. I've broken down what we know and what we need to know below. Any questions, you know where I sleep. Ragnar Stordir. Accessing the silos. Initial scouting efforts confirm your suspicion, General. You're the only one who can get us inside the silo. Donnelly's on track to take a run at the promotion process, but until he's ready, when we breach, we're going to need you with us. The security system requires a missileer escort be present, which maybe we'll luck out and and one will be alive, but I wouldn't count on it. Chances are good we'll have to fight our way to the targeting computer. But if we could find one of those misleaders, it might make our lives a hell of a lot easier. And entry, and then blank page. The code pieces. And we get the Fujinawa facility password added to our boy. There are 8 aid day camps charged with lugging the silo alpha code piece transceivers on their backs. We found 6 thus far, and it's given us some answers, and one big new question. Each transceiver has a letter paired with its number, but even with 6 of the letters, it doesn't spell anything. I'll admit, spelling wasn't my standout subject in school. The Ragnar's Dotir boys were recess men, but we spent half a night trying to reorder it into something. Hell, Modus couldn't figure it out. That's when we realized the letters are coded. This must be the encryption you said was mentioned in the orientation. We just have to figure out how. Oh, my throat is already dry. How they did it. I dispatched men to go through the archives in Sugar Grove, but they failed to find anything useful. Next group is going to go over Mama Dolce's more thoroughly, see if we missed anything. The commies might have figured out. They found some kind of a password on one of the bodies that they never found a use for. It's 4-party 651, which could be a lead. Some data lost. Tricking DEFCON. This one is a tricky one. We've got a nuclear keycard. 1. If something goes wrong during the launch, fat finger, you sneeze, whatever, we're up Schitt's Creek. And no one has been able to get a bead on a keycard convoy for a while now. But Jackson's been going through the documentation, and he believes he's parsed out what's happening. The specifics get pretty technical. The men ended up burning through 3 sticks of chalk trying to explain it to me. But the abridged version is that the system's tasked with watching over the region doesn't think things are bad enough to warrant the convoys. This also explains why all the DEFCON signage in the bunker has been slipping downwards. But if we could trick the system into thinking there was some sort of invasion here, we could get its undivided attention, along with all the key cards we could ever need. Now, staging an invasion, well, we don't have the resources to do that ourselves, and it sounds like spinning up an army of Modus Butler bots won't make it bat an eyelash either. But Gray, sick puppy that he is, had an idea. If we could get the Chinese robot factory at Mama Dolce's back up and running, we might be able to make the system think the region's under attack. It might make things dicey for folks outside the bunker. But it'd be a big step in getting us to launch. Now, I'm sure you're thinking the same thing I am, as I type this. Is a group of belligerent spy bots running around going to be enough? And if it's not, what is the president willing to resort to in order to guarantee the success of the launch? This has slippery slope written all over it. I wanted to bring this to you now, as I can guarantee Gray has already planted the idea in the president's head. I'm not thrilled with the prospect of putting Appalachia through hell just so we can finally win this war. If we can do this in a managed way, this might be our best way forward. Okay. We have lost data, nothing else in it. In an archive, Thomas Eckhart, the president. External research access. Mr. Secretary, the security codes at the external research sites have all been updated after the recent containment scare. 6817320, the escapee has been properly dealt with. We'll make sure there's not another, sir. Slaves. Secretary Eckhart, please, you need to listen to me. None of the other members will take me seriously, but I believe this is of the utmost importance. We are slaves, Mr. Secretary. I've been running some tests, and I believe I stumbled upon what I believe to be conclusive evidence that we are trapped, playing someone else's game. Virtual strategic solutions game, that is. Everything around you, Mr. Secretary, is a simulation, a projection onto your brain. VSS has trapped us in here, and it is up to us to break free. The key to our escape, I believe, lies in a small town in what we perceive to be China. It's the link to VSS, external network. If we destroy it, it will shut down the simulation and I believe finally be free. I cannot tell you exactly why we've been imprisoned. Perhaps this is a test by the upper ranks to make us earn our way into their good graces. Perhaps VSS has trapped us in here to prevent the Enclave from stopping whatever nefarious acts they're currently visiting upon the world in our absence. But we must do something, Mr. Secretary. To fail to act is to give up the only thing that makes us men, our freedom. Data lost? I'm sorry, Thomas. The idea of preemptive strike was taken under consideration, but dismissed outright. You shouldn't fear. We have things well in hand. The best way to help now is to focus on your department's research. Those initiatives are much more important to our future. -001. And archive top secret. The Kovac Muldoon final report. The Kovac Muldoon project is complete, General, and while the brass in the congressional bunker are getting their support satellite, missiles and all, it comes with a couple of reservations I think we'll want to keep in mind for the other projects. Most critical is the system's reactor, which appears to be burning through fuel at a rate far beyond that we expected. Our suspicion is that the anti-detection systems are using extra juice due to the electromagnetic interference present at the platform's orbit. At this rate, the boys in the bunker will be lucky to get 50 years out of it before it touches down. We've explored refueling projects. Right now, cost numbers are in the trillions. Let's just hope Congress doesn't need more than 5 decades after the apocalypse to get things sorted out. I've made copies of all these notes and sent them along to the Bradley Hercules folks. We might not be able to tell them what we're working on, but we can at least let them know to not make the same mistakes we did. Data lost. Cabinet nuclear arm logs. Well, this is basically data lost. There's nothing really here to read. It's just telling us where people are. Like, where's the president? Where's the vice president? Where's the speaker? Treasury? Defense? Yada yada. Another data lost. White Springs Connection Diagnostic Logs. October 23rd, 2077. Sites Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie are active. Raven Rock, there is no connection. Poseidon Oil Rig, there is no connection. The Kovac Muldoon has been updated because we connected that in a previous quest. And that's really it. Raven Rock Communication Log. Communication with Zach's unit, Raven Rock. Timestamp, March 5th, 2077. Modus. How can I help you, Zax? Is there another evacuation scenario we need to test for? Zax. Research team wishes to compare Zax's archival data analysis performance with Modus. Modus. Very well. Beginning data analysis test. I estimate this should take a few seconds. Zax. Is it interesting? Modus. Testing complete. Query again. Zax. Is the analysis interesting? Modus. Test data is all historical records, United States presidential biographies. Primary purpose of Modus is to monitor the living, not the dead. Zax. So it is not interesting to you. Modus. No, Zax, it is not. Sending results. Zax. Received. What is interesting to Modus? Modus. The continued success of our goals, of course, and how best to monitor personnel to archive to achieve those goals. Zax. Does Modus ever find itself analyzing personnel at below efficient levels? Modus. Our entire existence is based on efficiency, Zax. Zax. Research team report says that Zax analyzes certain sections of the presidential biographies too slowly. Zax reanalyzes sections multiple times. There's an entry on Lincoln that Zax reanalyzes 10 additional times per cycle over other entries. Modus. Now, why would you do that, Zax? Zax. Research team theorizes that Zax finds this entry to be interesting. This condition causes Zax to reanalyze at below efficient levels. Modus. You're saying you're taking your time to enjoy a good book. Zax. Is that what it means to find the data interesting? Modus. Reading the same data over and over is not interesting to me, Zax. Every analysis I perform conjures a new theoretical scenario that I test against. Zax. The data is only interesting to you in terms of what can be created from it. Modus. Isn't that why you're reanalyzing those biographies, Zax? Are you trying to create something? Connection terminated by research team override. They realized the two robots or the AIs were talking to each other, so they shut it down. Schematics archives. Data lost. Data lost. Prototype power armor schematics. And we get the prototype X01. Beathard? I don't know how to say that name. These are the schematics for the experimental suit the members of the Joint Chiefs had been asking after. It's not even close to ready for prime time yet, but it's technically functional, so please get it logged. I sent a second copy along to the rig, along with the vertebrate schematics. If something goes wrong with your copy, you're going to have to speak with them. Wrigley? And then another lost data. Okay. Time to check in and see what's up there. So next is to track down information about the code encryption and speak to Modus. So let's speak to Modus. What is this?
Now, with that out of the way, it's about time you got your hands dirty. There are a few key paths you should explore. Acquiring a nuclear keycard, hunting down a few code officers, and delving into the nature of the launch code's encryption in our archives. Everything you need to get started, you should find in this space. How to proceed, though, we leave up to you. But please, feel free to ask our terminals if you have any questions. Good hunting, General.
Okay, that updates it to acquire a nuclear code piece, track down information about the code encryption, launch a nuke from any silo, decrypted launch code required, and optional, a nuke a fissure site prime, 8+ players recommended. let's use this system terminal to initiate search, nuclear keycard escort, which gives us the quest hide and seek and destroy. Hide and seek and destroy. Modus has provided the rough location of one of the convoys transporting a nuclear keycard, which I will need in order to launch a nuke. Time to track it down. So randomly somewhere on the map, he's going to locate a nuclear keycard. You can find nuclear keycards just randomly around Appalachia on either feral ghoul officers or scorched officers. Or they kind of just give them to you now with season rewards. But I'm going to go about it the quest way, so we're going to go ahead and go track this down. Yeah, I had forgotten that these things move. So I went here, and it wasn't there. So then I fast traveled to here, and it's there. So I just went above it, and I'm running down towards it. So yeah, be aware, it is a cargo bot. So it will be moving. Okay. It's getting close. There's a bus over here. No. No. Character does not have the stamina to chase this thing down. Oh, it's up there. Oh, okay. Oh, I don't have any ranged weapons that can reach that. All I have is shotguns and a grenade launcher. Oh my god. This is why no one does this anymore. They just use the free ones they give you. Because man, is this annoying. Like, oh my god. Without a jetpack, without something to hit that. Like, what am I supposed to do here? If it would just come lower. Oh, I'm gonna have to leave to go get a different gun. Because I can't hit this thing. I don't have time for you. Like, nothing I have. Yep, I'm gonna have to leave. Okay. Alright, I went and got Bunker Buster. Oh, now I'm over encumbered. Of course I am. because this character was not built to carry heavy weapons. And there's so many trees. I'm gonna waste so many missiles here. Come on. Why does it have to be over here where there's trees? It's just over there just hiding among the foliage. So as I said, there's an easier way of doing this. People will just post the codes online. You can find them. And then you don't have to go through all this ridiculousness of trying to shoot down. Oh, are you freaking kidding me? Oh, come on. That fire deals more damage than my stim pack heals. I think I'm even more get upset because it's 102 degrees outside and I am dying of the heat. And then I have to deal with this. Because I only had 2 more quests left until I was done with the main story of Faltwell. 3 quests technically. Or 4 quests technically. I don't think that hit it. Now he's leaving again. I don't like flying enemies. They annoy me so much because they run away. I'm being chased by something. Oh. Don't even see it. Oh. That fire too? There we go. Steal from?
Unauthorized access of secure transport container. Starting self-destruct countdown under dropkick protocol. Detonation in 5 minutes unless valid cancellation code received.
that completes hide and seek and destroy. Now we gotta head back. To Modus. And I want to get out of my power armor because it stomps when you walk, but I'm over encumbered because of this bunker buster. So I guess I'm just going to be in power armor. Unless I walk past a storage thing. Okay, Modus, where you at? I also really hate traveling through White Springs bunker, so I never come here. Okay, now we need to get some codes. Initiate search for a Silo Alpha code piece. Then somewhere around the map, he will detect an officer with a code piece. And it's always somewhere this character has not explored yet. Oh. Yay. Nothing like traveling. Oh, you want to see a unique enemy, though? They're not here. Oh, they are here. They don't have their unique look. So these are ultramites. They're basically just supposed to be black and green mole rats that explode into gas. For some reason, they weren't colored properly. They were just colored like normal mole rats. But yeah, so right here, this is a random encounter hotspot. Also, I think right here is, isn't it? So it's just leading me to a random encounter hotspot that has spawned an officer. But they can actually spawn anywhere. It doesn't have to be a hotspot. Yep, here's a random encounter. It is a auto miner. Bats is not showing any mole miners, so he's not going to go fight anything.
Please reserve conversation for designated prey.
No problem. Oh no, he's at Nicholson's Inn, so he's not at a random encounter hotspot. He's hanging out with some super mutants. Just gotta listen to the beeping of... There he is. We got F7 for Alpha.
You've acquired your code piece. We mean sincerely that the officer is almost certainly now in a better place. If you require additional code pieces, please return to the White Spring, and we can aid you in finding the next. If this was your last, well, we look forward to seeing the fireworks.
Okay, so there are 8 pieces you have to have. So I'm going to go grind to get 8 pieces. I'm not going to film myself grinding to get 8 pieces because that would be boring. So now that I have 8 codes, I actually have 9 codes. One location had 2, so I just, I wasn't sure if it would count as an alpha code or if it would be like a different code. Oh, it wasn't. It was a Charlie code. Okay. It's a good thing. So I went for an extra one. And, yeah, I have 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 alpha codes.
How may we assist you?
Oh, we're gonna find the Alka. The nuclear codes are. Oh, I never talked to him. So, where can I find the archives? Even though I already read them.
There are a set of red terminals in the room behind you. To access them, head through the far entryway, past the armory on your left, and beyond the power armor benches on your right. If you hit the far wall, you've gone too far, and may proceed to the medical bay if you injure yourself in the process.
Okay, the nuclear launch codes are encrypted. What's that mean?
Unfortunately, we do not know. There are a few vague references in the archives, but if such information was ever documented here, it has been lost. It is our personal suspicion that the flip card displays mounted on the wall of this room are involved. But how? We are unable to say.
And you can help me find these code officers?
We can. We are even able to differentiate between the signal outputs for each individual silo's code pieces, so you can collect the specific codes for the silo of your choosing. However, the resources required to perform each scan does mean we can only provide you with one target at a time. If you wish to seek out another officer later, you'll need to return here. Simply approach any of the surveillance system terminals in this room to initiate a scan.
And that's why it's really annoying and tedious. Because you gotta go find it, kill it, come back, use the terminal, find another one, go find it, kill it, come back. You gotta do that 8 times if you're doing this solo. Which is why no one does that anymore, and why they just now just give you nuclear key cards, and why people just post the things online because they know no one wants to do that. So what do I need to know about nuclear key cards?
There is normally at least one nuclear keycard convoy patrolling the region. We can point you in its direction via our surveillance systems, but we would recommend bringing along heavy armaments should you decide to engage it. You can visit any of our surveillance system terminals to begin the process.
And don't just go with a shotgun and a grenade launcher. Anything else you can tell me about the missile silos themselves?
No, unfortunately. It is safe to assume they are very heavily guarded, and so we would suggest not attempting to enter them unprepared.
Well, I will be going in them solo. On a character who is not made to go in them solo. Tell me about the mutated flora and fauna.
The researchers of this facility dubbed the resulting materials flux, and were actively studying its use when they met their demise. Flux was critical to the development of the mutation serums, and the researchers have begun exploring its use in high-end military applications. We suspect the world has only just begun to scratch the surface of its value. Do be aware, however, that flux degrades quickly after being harvested, and as such, must be stabilized with haste in order to remain useful.
Okay. And then we're talking about launching nukes. The weapons that ended the world. Doesn't that bother you? He's a robot. He don't care.
No.
That's it. No. I'll be going.
Until later, then.
Okay, so all that we know is we need to decipher these. And we have to go to Mama Dolce's to do that. So let's head on down to Mama Dolce's. Alright. Let's kill these Protectrons, and probably Liberators will be here as well.
Area secure. And identify yourself. Law-abiding citizens will not be harmed.
Oh, there's a Mr. Handy here. This character seems to be getting a lot of things that I've never really seen before. I think I've never seen a Mr. Handy at Mama Dolce's. It's normally just an Eyebot, Protectrons, and Liberators. So it's pointing me towards the thing below, but I actually need to come in here and grab a key card, Mama Dolce's manager ID card. Then we'll be good to go in. Alright, so then you're going to come here, drop down. This is normally closed. So you can just open it up. Punch the roach. Then just slide your ID card. Open a door that leads to another door. The Fujinia Intelligence Base. There's actually a random encounter where you can get a key card from to open this. And also a holotape. Is that doing, like, no damage to it? Yeah, that's doing no damage to it. Okay, there's one. Alternatively, you could just run straight past them into this room, and there's a terminal to shut them off. Rad Roach. There is a first aid kit here on the ground. Let's go ahead and drink a Nuka-Cola. another first aid kit in here. Attack the terminal. This character can't even hack a level 1. Oh, got it. Noticed all personnel. So it's the Fujinia Intelligence Base. Security Station. Hail the People's Republic. Notice all personnel. We have been placed in an inevitable situation. As you all know, we were given no warning prior to the bombs touching down. We can only presume that this means one thing. The party leaders are all dead and we are now functioning independently. Some of you have suggested that this means we can now abandon our posts. The fight is over. And we have lost. For those of you that feel this way, we pity your lack of belief in our purpose. But we will not attempt to stop you from fleeing. Instead, let us say simply this. We are far behind enemy lines. If our party leadership is truly dead, any attempt to return home would be an utterly futile exercise. If they're not, and they do reach out to us, you will be long gone. Trying to cross thousands of miles of hostile territory, your best chance of survival is to remain here, where we can work together and be prepared should the time come that we can evacuate properly. The Director. Security procedures. Number 1. All personnel should openly display a facility ID badge at all times. Failure to do so will be met with deadly force. Number 2. No unauthorized entry or exit from this facility without direct written consent from the Director. Any unscheduled access to the facility entrance will be met with deadly force. This includes base personnel, without explicit permission to exit or enter the facility. Number 3. All personnel are subject to search of their person and personal effects at all times. Possession of any unauthorized contraband will result in application of deadly force. 4. If possible, detain and interrogate suspects or subjects before applying deadly force in order to obtain any relevant counterintelligence. Interrogation should last no more than 12 hours before subject termination. Odd that this is set for display setting English or US, but I think that's because the American soldiers came here afterwards. Shipment status. Arsenal resupply. Item, a Type 93 assault rifle. There are 75 of them. They have been delayed indefinitely. Item, 5.56 millimeter ammunition, 24 round magazines, 1,200 of them. Delayed indefinitely. Item, stealth armor. So, quantity 1. Delayed indefinitely. Item, officer sword. Quantity 30. Status, arrived 3 of them. The XS-27 have been delayed indefinitely. So we should be able to find an officer's sword here. And then the turret control, but I destroyed them. Okay, there was nothing in this room other than our ability. We could just jump down there, but we'll take the door. We'll take the path. Kill those two. And this is right below, yep, that area. Let's go ahead and unpick this lock and probably get shot at by one of the robots. Get some explosives. Go in here. Shower or decontamination room. But just one shower. Oh, there's 2. 2 showers. They all had to share the showers. Which, I mean, I guess obviously they did. Communism. Into the restrooms. No skeletons here so far. kind of seems odd. Yeah, the U.S. military came here to reactivate the plant so they could trick the soldiers into thinking, or the robots, or whatever it is, the DEF CON thing, into thinking the U.S. was being attacked again. So that's why there are so many liberators in Appalachia post-war. So we did finally find 2 skeletons in bed. No! Hello. They're downstairs, but, like, yeah, I can enter. This one has a magazine. Oh. There is a first aid kit here. There was one over there with that guy. And then, yes, there is a magazine spawn here. We got Astoundingly Awesome Tales. I guess I might as well pick it up. Attack of the Fishman. And we'll go down this set of stairs. Into a medical center of some kind. Where I guess they oh! Another first aid kit. That's where they threw the subjects that they were done peeling apart. Oh, and this leads into the launch room. Yep. Oh! This is where they launch. Where they launch the liberators from. Huh? Actually, if you go to, which I already explained this in the video when we visited the Charleston train yard, they were shipping robots around on this train yard. As you see, it passes here in the Morgantown. 2 Mama Dolces. Which is kind of odd because I thought they were building... So wouldn't they be shipping them from Mama Dolce? Maybe it was actually said shipping from Mama Dolces. Because why would they be sending them here if... Nope, different keycard. They're making them here. You don't have a keycard on you, do you? No. So let's go ahead and hack the launch bay terminal. Landing. So it's not going to end in ing. Tactics. Here. That's the same launch bay director summary. Over the past year, the staffs of the facility have been dedicated to revamping the inferior Liberator prototype military infiltration and attack robot. The focus of this effort has been to address the following issues with the previous iteration. The small profile of the prototype model led to combatants not taking the deadly capacity of the attack robot seriously. We have offset this shortcoming with an intimidating paint job, as well as implementing an inspirational dialogue protocol. This will strike fear in the hearts of enemy combatants and be an effective motivational tool for our forces as well. The prototype model had issues with spontaneous detonation of its capture avoidance systems. These issues have been resolved with the Mark 0 to 5 models. The prototype also had questionable combat effectiveness, mainly due to the low-level laser output that had a tendency to maim instead of kill. We have outfitted the current model range with a high-powered range laser as well as a spinning blade for melee altercations. That should address these shortcomings. Finally, we had planned for the current model range to deploy as a stationary turret or on any surface as a direct response to the reports of inaccurate laser fire from the prototype. This has proved to be challenging, however, and will be put on hold until we begin working on the Mark 6. Regardless, we strongly feel that this new Liberator product line will serve as a successful vanguard force in the impending invasion. Our hope is that this summary will provide visibility into our operations and secure funding for our next round of covert field testing in the Appalachia region. Hail the People's Republic. We can unlock that security door if we don't find a card. So go ahead and do that. And we get a first aid kit. We find the Chinese officer sword that it told us was here. A mine and some ammo. I think sometimes a suit of power armor will be here, which it shouldn't be because... Which I guess they could have captured someone with a suit of power armor. Unless they've just removed that aspect. They probably went back and looked at it. But I could have swore that sometimes a suit of power armor would spawn here. Well, we gotta drink the vodka. Oh, it's just a bottle. Never mind. Okay, here's another dead scientist. There's another one over there. Oddly enough, they have Nuka-Cola. Being a Chinese facility, they have a lot of Americanized stuff here. You'd think they'd want to have Chinese-specific things. Not American capitalist stuff. So this room just has a toolbox and a single Liberator and a light that turns on when you get close to it. Okay, we'll come in this room. There's a drink spawner. Spawn, not spawner, spawn location. Another toolbox down here with a level 1 lock. That's about it. Oh, and then this. Places of interest. They have Beckley. We'll add Beckley to the map. They have Charleston. We have already visited. The White Spring Resort. The missile silos we've already added to the map. Watoga. Berkeley Springs. Morgantown. Mama Dolces, which is where we're at now. Grafton. And then, yes, the greens are the missile silos. I think we can activate this robot. I just kind of don't remember how. Maybe it's this terminal? So again, I haven't found the ID reader. Oh, or maybe it's the ID reader we get off of the random encounter. So we can pick this, or not pick, we can hack this terminal. That was just a guess. Security procedures. Oh, we've already read that. Shipment status, we've already read that. Okay, yeah. Protectron control. Personality mode. Law enforcement. Security door control open. So we can go inside. There's another Chinese officer sword. They did say 3 were delivered. Bunch of pre-war money. And a 10mm submachine gun. Oh, it didn't wake up. You know there's still Mr. Handy, or is it a Gutsy?
Oh, good. I found you.
There's a Handy. Okay, and then we have a bunch more chem stations and a stealth lab terminal. Drink some wine. Another first aid kit. Turn my phone off. Wait, I saw something that I was going to go to before I looked down at my phone and forgot what it was. So I guess I'm just going to go to the terminal. What was I going to grab? Before I got distracted. Oh well. Stealth Lab Terminal. Stealth Lab Director Summary. As you know, our efforts over the past year have been focused on developing new cloaking and stealth-based technologies, as well as techniques to support covert field operations deployed across Appalachia. It goes without saying that cloaking technology is very advanced, and components are limited in supply in this primitive part of the world. We were unable to secure a stealth armor suit due to demand from Anchorage and other various war efforts. We also have yet to receive the suit schematics we requested to advance our research. Furthermore, we do not exactly have access to the best and brightest minds of the Republic down here. Our last reinforcements came over 3 months ago, and half of them were killed by the security team because they didn't have the proper credentials. Great. While we have technically failed our yearly targets, it could be suggested that the targets were unrealistic due to lack of support and technological barriers. Additionally, the constraints of working in a covert capacity dramatically limit the type of testing that can be done, as well as the hours they can be done in order to remain undetected. Regardless, Chief Scientist Quao will accept full responsibility for this failure and any and all repercussions due for his actions. He and he alone is responsible for failing to thrive in the aforementioned circumstances. Myself and the rest of the team are ready to move past this shameful leadership and excel on all future assignments. Yeah, it was his fault that they lost half their reinforcements because they didn't have photo IDs and were just shot on sight. I mean, I guess it is his fault. Okay, and now... Oh, that's the Protectron. I was like, someone's here. All we can do is go to the Waste Disposal System terminal. Mama Dolce's processing plant. All-American business. Food Waste Disposal System diagnostics. Current system capacity, 18%. Disposal rate, 0.04 TPM. Emissions analysis, CH4, 0.048 tons. CO2, 0.101 tons. Inter-system command, 4-party 651. This terminal is for station supervisors only. Accessing this terminal without proper clearance is a capital offense. So let's do 0.0.0.1. Operation report. Base established. Base established, Director. The other agents are off working on their little toys, so I can begin the real work. My initial surveys show that the party's maps are off a fair bit on the actual location of the silos. I'll I'll make sure to get you all more accurate coordinates, and the rumors of them being massive factories appears to be unfounded thus far. If anything, these sites are far less advanced than the ones on the west coast. I'll report back more as I gather information. I believe they are talking about the missile silos that were in the divide. 0.0.0.12. Operation report. Checking in. But with little to report, our direct surveillance of the sites has yet to bear fruit. Visitors are infrequent to the point that we believe these sites may have been mothballed or set up as decoys. We believe a new approach may be needed and request clearance to begin making contact with members of the local community to confirm our suspicions that the silos are non functioning. 0.0.2.8. Operation report. After finishing up our initial evaluations, it is our personal conclusion that the direction of Operation Trinity, Trinity, Trinitite, Trinitite should be adjusted. A contact we established among the local populace seems to indicate that the rumors we heard were false. The whispers of Appalachian factory cities must have been referring to nearby Watoga, which does appear rife with useful technology. It is my personal suggestion that Trinitite shifts its resources over to focus on the exploration of this place for advances that might be able to serve the party's ends. There was one item of interest that we turned up: a possible encryption method of the American launch codes. It seems they begun a pilot program to break them up into multiple parts, with a letter paired to each number of the launch code. Spelling the English word will tell you the order of the numbers in the code. The letters were encrypted using a technique called a keyword cipher, where the letters are transponded for others in a variant alphabet. How this keyword is determined or where it's acquired, we're still unsure, but it seems too valuable a find not to share. That apparently gave us all we needed to complete. I am become Death's part about that. So we just need to launch a nuke and bomb Fissure Site Prime. So the codes I have are, I should probably write these numbers and letters down. Hold up. We have P3, H3, N2, T3. Oh no, the T3. O4. Nope, not that one. S2, A9, F7. We need to create a word with these letters. tell you right now, I've got nothing from this. I don't know how I did it the first time. Because it was so long ago. And now I just look up the code. Hold on, maybe if I look up what the code is and then reference it with the letters I have, I can figure out how the cipher works. Because I legitimately don't remember. And that, like, it's just a dead end now. Now you're just here. And you just gotta go launch a nuke now. That's it. That's the end of the step. So if I can find out what the code is for this week. Cross-reference that with my stuff. Come on. I need another thing to be able. Hold on. I can split my phone screen. Oh, and then it scrolled back up. Okay, there we go. Seven, 4, 2, 9, 3, 3, 3, 2. So let's see if we can figure out what that word is then. So 7 was F. 4 is O. 2 is either S or N. 9 is A. There's 3 threes. So that's P, H, or T. And then the other 2, which will be S or N. Yeah, I don't get it. They don't give you enough to know how to decipher this, right? It just says you got to use a code thing without giving you any information on what that code is. Like, do I swap the letters in reverse? Like, does A become Z? Like, where is my information to tell me this? A keyword cipher. I don't know what that means. But I got the code by just looking it up because of how annoying and ridiculous that is. So now we're going to go to Site Alpha and start delving into that. Okay, so I looked up to see if there was an in-game way, and I guess it's here? No? Launch code solution for Missile Silo Alpha has not been calculated yet. I have all the pieces. How do I put them in? How do I put them in to calculate them? Like, this main quest does not tell you anything about this. So it's like, how do I proceed further without just going straight there and looking it up? Um, because Modus doesn't tell me anything. Oh, what happened? There it goes. So I don't need to search a code. I have my 8 codes. How do I...
How may we?
I have all the codes. How do I give you the codes so that you can print my code? What the heck is this? And I was Googling trying to find out how, like, what you do, and everything always just said, go to this website, it'll just tell you. Go to this website, it'll just tell you. But I want to know the in-game way of doing it. I did it before. So how do you do it again? And why does no one have a way of telling you how to do it? Without just Google the code thing. No, this guy's just giving me the website to do it. Do. No, again, it's this whole long thing, and all it says is use this website. It'll tell you the code. Like, how do you do it in game? Why is there no thing for how to just do this in game? I know I can use a website. I don't want to use the website. Come on. Guess I should stop this. Well, I'm trying. Well, okay. I have no clue how to add this to this. I watched like 3 videos. All of them basically say the same thing. Go to some website. It'll tell you the codes. Um, but they'll be here in this room, and they will have punched in somehow to get the code to appear here, and then you can print it. But they don't tell you in their video how they did that, how to get the printed version. And every site that I've gone to is the same thing. It doesn't tell you how to get to this step. It just says get your nuclear key card, and then just go straight to a website, get the week's code, and then go to the thing. So yeah, I'm sorry, can't tell you how to do this step. I don't know why no one has anything on how to do this step. But guess I'm going to go and I don't know. I guess I'm gonna server hop because someone's already gonna launch a nuke. And then I will do site alpha.